Hey everybody, this is Sinn for the shoot interviews for KCW. And my first question of the day is, how did you get your start in backyard wrestling?
Well, my backyard wrestling career started when I was on Quintard Street, which is not that far from where I live now. The old QWF, there wasn't that many people, but the small group that we had some fun. That's where I kind of cut my teeth, got started. Had a couple of great opponents, couple of great matches, and, for the short span that it was around, we had some fun with it. It was never vastly popular as the other company that I ended up working for, but for our block, it was a lot of fun, and I was there for I would say about maybe 2-3 years, and then I just stopped until I signed my contract to KCW.
What was the genesis of the Jim Sinn character?
Well, I get asked that question. I got asked that question a lot when I first signed my KCW contract because not everybody in that organization knew who I was. Only maybe 2 or 3 people knew me and knew me well. The Jim Sinn character is based off of my actual personality, only overblown. My character was born off of vengeance. I've had a lot of things happen in my personal life that I won't get into. That because I was always expected to act a certain way, not give in to anger, not give in to hatred, to be a good person, and that character was a way for me to exercise those demons, so to speak. So I used it, and I use it every time I step into an arena, anytime I step into a match. That is how I deal with my issues.
What was your first impression of the superstars in KCW in your first day as a superstar?
Well, when I first walked into KCW, the first thing I looked at was the value of being on top, because I knew when I walked in I wanted to own the place. I wanted to be the man. I wanted to be the champion. I've been a QWF champion 5 times, so I walked in a 5-time champion, and I took the role of champion very seriously. I didn't just think of it, I get to hang around with a plastic belt. I actually brought replica belts with me. That was one of the things that I was very proud to bring to KCW, because they were dealing, no offense to them, but they were dealing with plastic belts. And in all honesty, I feel that the value of a belt, a real championship belt, means something. And I felt that by bringing that in, that'd be good. I thought some of the guys were wishy-washy. I didn't take them very seriously. But there were a lot of good creative minds there. I don't think that there was much of a filter. I saw these extra characters of multiple people. That's why, if you notice, I very rarely played to anybody. I played a second person once, and that was it, because I realized how stupid it was. To me, it was just dumb, because you're insulting the fans' intelligence. Oh, that guy's Sylvania, that guy's the Wolfman, that guy's Big Bad Bill, or that guy's the Red Ranger, that guy's Red Thunder, or that guy's Joe Cool. To me, it just seemed ludicrous. That was the only thing I didn't like about KCW. Everything else, it was great. There were some characters and some personalities that I really enjoyed seeing, and during my time there, I kind of blended in, and it seemed like I was always there. And I felt that when KCW was over, it was better than the way I found it, and that was something I was very proud of.
What was the negotiations like?
Well,
coming in,
the negotiations kind of got halted because I got run over by a car, and that really put me on the back burner because I was in an excruciating amount of pain. I have chronic pain syndrome, and you don't want to sign a contract. You don't want to give your word to something, because in the wrestling business, even going back into the 70s and the 80s, your word was your bond. So I didn't want to give my word that I'd make appearances when I knew full well that I couldn't. I didn't want to make an agreement with Christian, who is off camera. He's my best friend. I did not want to make an agreement with him that I couldn't fulfill, because I take my word very seriously. I'm old school. So it was only a matter of when I could deal with the pain. And that's when I started going for my treatments, and then I knew what I could do, what I couldn't do, and that's when I had my first pay-per-view, which was December to Dismember 2007. That was my very first pay-per-view, and it's a night I'll never forget.
How would you grade your first year from all the rest of the years?
Well,
where
see,
would
my
that
first
stand?
year, I'll be honest, my first year wasn't my best. The first year that I was around, I was still getting a feel for everyone. You know, I wasn't that, I didn't have any chemistry with a lot of the guys that were in there yet. And plus, I was in bad shape. I was not in good shape. If you notice, in the first year of KCW, I had a really bad gut, which I'm kind of starting to get again. But I managed to drop 25, 30 pounds, and my match quality became better. I think that's one of the things that a lot of people seem to leave out, is you need to be in good shape in order to do this job. I was never in the best of shape, but I was in much better shape in 2009.